Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the VOD Squad, the show where we talk about streaming technology. This is episode 161, December 11th, 2019. I am Clyde, and today I am joined by Matthew Ross.
Hey, everybody.
And Michael Aston. Oh, and we have no audio from the mic. That's okay.
Yeah, my computer conveniently told me that as well. Hello, everyone.
How you doing?
I'd like to start this day off by complaining that it is now officially the time of year where I get up, it's dark. I drive to work, it's still dark. I go to work in a room, usually mostly indoors, don't really look out the window. I then leave work, it's dark. I go home, it's dark. There's no sun. Mm-hmm. It's raining. It's beginning to become the miserable season.
I have had to set my lights in
miserable
the house to
time
come on around
of the
3:30.
year.
Yeah,
there's no sun by 4.
Yeah, the last couple of days have been really rainy, and so I do have an office with windows and stuff. But I swear it's felt like I'm in Alaska or something. There's been so little light that even during the day, if I didn't have my the other day, yesterday, literally, I had people come into my office for a couple of meetings, and I didn't have my lights on because I have like a Christmas tree that's lit up, and I like the natural light, especially when it's dim. And they come in and they sit down in front of me, and I couldn't see them. I'm like, I know you're sitting there, but I can't see you because the brightness of my computer screen has blinded me to the dark, and I can't see you at all.
I, on contrast, like lots of light, and I if I'm going to sit in a room, and unless I'm watching a movie, and then I'd like to maybe turn off all the other lights, but otherwise I like a well-lit room. And so I walk into a room where some people like to have that kind of dim room, and I'm like, can I turn on a light? At least one.
No, I'm melting.
At least you guys have temperature. Right now, I have literally no temperature. It's warmer than yesterday, but it's 0. There is literally no temperature.
0 is a temperature. It's not much, but it is one.
It's like 0 means nothing.
0 degrees Kelvin is no temperature.
That's true. Yeah, but remember, when we reach 0 degrees Kelvin, then everything kind of implodes on itself, and it's the end of the universe. So don't do that.
I can't wait for that day. Wabbit says at least it's not absolute 0.
That's 0 Kelvin.
I would argue that come over here, go outside. It's absolute 0. And on that note, what do we have to actually talk about?
We're going to start by talking about Pluto TV. Pluto TV, of course, has been the streaming service that's been offering as much of their little pieces of entertainment value available as free, but without a login service for quite a long time now. But as of recently, they have been picked up by Viacom, I believe it was, and so they've been picking up a lot of various new content on it. They have a total of 240 free channels for you to watch on this. And as Clyde was mentioning in the pre-show, that's a lot of channels for you to scroll through to see if there's anything good on. They have made And they have announced today that they have made updates to many of their different interfaces where you can now see the various channels grouped by kind of genre. So you have things like comedy sections and reality TV sections and tech and geeky stuff sections. And so it's a new interface. I've just tried it out on the web. It's a nice change, I have to say. It makes it a lot easier to find the kind of thing you're looking for.
Yeah, I'll have to check this out. 'Cause like I said, that was the thing that really turned me off about Pluto. was the inability to find what I want through all of the stuff that I don't. This is one of those things, as with most free services, for every one thing that you want on there, there's like 20 things you don't.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's true. That's often true with free services, though.
Exactly. And I mean, that was the thing I always hated about live TV, or when you get 500 channels. Yeah, but it only want like 4 of them. And then even though you could set up an account with Pluto, sign into the app, and then on the web or on the browser version, you could go in and favorite channels. On the app, on the Roku, I could never find a way to access my favorites. It was like an exercise in futility. So yeah, I look forward to trying this out again.
Yeah, I feel like I need to spend more time with Pluto, because every time I just go peek back in there and go, yeah, that's right, Pluto, let's take a look at wow, there's lots of good stuff here. I actually really should spend more time in here. Then I forget about it for another week or two. And
yeah,
it's not a big deal.
But then again, I'm also not a live TV kind of guy. This is for, people that like the constant stream of programming.
Yes, and they actually do have video on demand inside Pluto as well. Check that out as well. So, like right now, that's James Bond-a-thon of on-demand stuff. If you like those old James Bond movies, there you go.
Bond-a-thon.
But, well, if that's not a title, I don't know what is. All right, ladies and guys, we have a Verge story here about Google releasing a brand new Google TV box. Hey, isn't that great, everybody? So we've been waiting forever for a new one of these. I can't wait till I can go out and buy one right now. Isn't this great? I can't look at it. It's so cool.
Developer model.
Oh, that's right.
I signed up for one of them. Over the summer, they put out the thing saying, hey, and it might have been the ADT 2, because I have an ADT 1 over there, the original one. Google does this every now and then to kind of give the market a kick in the pants and say, hey, this is the model we want you to follow.
Right.
We didn't see anything new from the ADT 2. So, whether or not this will actually cause any change, we don't know.
Well, you could say the B Box S, maybe some of the set-top boxes.
ADT 2, though.
And also the NVIDIA new NVIDIA Shield, they had their behind the streaming stick thing as well.
Yeah.
So we had a couple things that may have been influenced by it, but you're right, not much there. But that being said, is there much different between this one and the previous one? I'm looking at what they're showing here for the specs. It looks like a plain old-fashioned, but it's Android 10 box with an HDMI 2.1 port instead of everything.
So I mean, I'm kind of disappointed by the specs. So you've got an ARM Cortex A53, only 2 gigs of DDR3 memory, but it does have the ability to do 4K at 60 frames per second. But one of the things that they're touting with this is that it will be more focused or for like Google Stadia, which is one of the things that I was, that I was down on Stadia about, is the fact that you needed to use the Chromecast. And I don't think that a Chromecast is going to be suitable. I keep saying that, it needs to be, if it was on something a little beefier like an Android TV, then I might be interested. So, if this can do Stadia, then that might be the kick in the pants I need to try it out.
On the note of Stadia, you're right. The the Chromecast Ultra that comes with Stadia members right now, it's basically a standard Chromecast Ultra, but with a specialized firmware.
Yeah.
Apparently, people have been playing their Stadia games for a few hours, and then those things overheat and turn off.
Yeah.
So yes, obviously there is a problem.
And that's basically what I expected. Everybody kept saying, "Oh, no. No, you're crazy. That the
When you
Chromecast is all you need, and I'm like, I don't know about
I
that.
would agree with that if but it sounds like this is a really heavy duty decoding fast and it's gotta be low latency, so it's not gonna be
Mhm.
something easy to decode. It's gonna be something hard to work on. So yeah, that's more processing power needed, and yeah, obviously the one out of the box needs some air cooling or water cooling or something to keep it
Yeah,
cool.
just a better processor so that he doesn't have to work so hard.
Right.
But yeah, but again, yeah, the sticks aren't really meant for really intense processing because otherwise they get hot. And I mean, same thing with like a Roku stick or a Fire Stick. That's always the problem about that stick form factor is that it is so tight and cramped that yeah, you end up having slowness issues. You have to reboot those things a lot more than you do something like a Roku Ultra that has a fan
Hmm.
in it.
Yeah.
Well, even like my Amazon Fire TV Cube, I have the first generation. I have to reboot that about once every few days, maybe once a week, um, or it has issues.
Can you just
Some
set Alexa to automatically reboot it at a specific time?
that would be nice. I don't think I can do that, but that would be great. I do.
Submit it in the wish list.
Yeah, I am. I have ordered and probably have in a box somewhere that I don't know a new generation Fire TV Cube. I got that ordered when it was on sale for Black
It's in a
Friday.
box someplace under the Christmas tree.
Probably.
Mm. You know, whatever the case is, it's interesting that we're going to be seeing this new Android box, and hopefully hopefully we'll see some new things come out of some of the vendors for more Android TVs. Because I'm sorry, I feel like that platform is dying on the vine.
Yeah, I will say, uh, for those that weren't here when I talked about it many years ago, the ADT-1 was the thing that showed up on my doorstep with no markings on September 11th that year. September 11th, there was a thing like a package on my porch with no markings on it whatsoever. Didn't even have a return address and had to go through the do I open this thing? Because Google just sent them out. Number one, it had been like 6 months since I had registered, and they didn't send any notice saying, "Hey, we're shipping you the thing." And I opened it up, and then actually, I'm gonna grab it real quick because I've got here.
Sure. The fun of getting things at inappropriate times. You know, bet you could make a list of things you shouldn't send on September 11th. I could imagine.
Yeah.
So then, in this unmarked box, I slide out this. And then when you spin it around, there's a little tiny thing on the back that just shows a game controller. And I was like, what the heck is this? And then
at that point, you probably were feeling a little less freaked out.
Well, by at that point, and then it was like, oh, it's the, oh,
Gotcha.
okay. Because we didn't know what it looked like. We didn't know anything about it. But yeah, so this unmarked box, and it was like one of the anniversaries of, and people were making a big deal, and people were spouting off stuff and making threats, and then I get this thing, and it was like, scared me. I almost threw it straight in the trash.
Hey, YouTube Music is that new service by Google that is trying to be their new music service, and I don't know why they went that way because Google Play Music was just fine. Well, if they've added a feature to it, available since for a long time from various different platforms, has been the ability to have seamless music gaps or gapless music playback between songs and on various albums, especially for songs that are basically designed that way. That gapless playback is now available on the web and on Android devices when you use YouTube Music. And iOS support is coming in the near future.
Yeah.
That's good. I will say I still prefer Spotify because Spotify allows you to add overlap. Like when you're listening to the radio, and as the first song's fading out, the new one's fading in.
Yeah,
So
I always hated that.
I think around 3 seconds is perfect for me, and I love it in the car because then there's no, abrupt anything, because then it also brings it in gradually.
Right. I understand the reason for they do that, and I like it for that reason, but I really hated that because the only way I could get songs when I was a kid was for me to record it off the radio, which means I always had a clip of something else at the end of every time the song's like, I don't like that. Other than that, it's fine.
Yeah, I love the seamless music. You don't notice the transition between the songs. There's no downtime. I didn't know this was a new feature. I felt like this is the way it's been for a really long time, but apparently not. It's just gotten better and better. So
how is this not already a thing?
I need to make that bumper.
Yeah.
All right, hey guys, that show Reno 911?
Never heard of it.
I've never watched that show. Is it any good?
I don't know. It looks like that looks like the mom from the Goldbergs.
It kind of does, doesn't it? It also looks like the couple other shows have been coming out recently. There's
hey, that's the lady from the nail salon in Claus.
Well, they've they're coming back, believe it or not. They're going to be coming back, and they're going to be coming back in Quibi. Oh yeah, do you remember what Quibi is? Quibi is that only on your phone mobile device, and short episodes version. Yeah, 10 minutes long. Yeah.
I was almost excited for this. I was almost excited for this until I saw the word Quibi.
Now, here's the interesting thing. Okay, go ahead.
I've seen a few episodes of this, and not very many because I don't particularly like it. This seems like the perfect kind of thing for Quibi. Short snippets of little bit jokes, because that's really all Reno 911 was, right? It was little bit jokes that didn't really seamlessly flow together to a whole arc in an episode. And it'll work perfectly for short format TV type film. And it's not like you need it on a big screen. It's guys wearing short shorts that are way too tight, and
just the one dude.
Yes. I mean, you don't need it on a big screen. Like there's no reason. So I think this is the perfect show for this format. Gives it a little bit more likelihood of success.
So you're saying you didn't see the movie in 2007?
No, I did not see the movie. I've seen a couple of episodes, like 3-ish, and parts of a few others probably, but that's it.
I used to watch this show somewhat regularly. Yeah. I'll give it a shot. We'll see.
Reno 911 in Miami, the movie, made to $20 million domestically. So
hey, it's doing better than a Playmobil.
Yeah, well, we're gonna get to that. All right. OnePlus has got their brand new television that's, this pretty nice, big, amazing TV with all these cool features. And they've just got they've announced it a while ago. We were kind of watching it when it came out. It only got released to India. So we've all been kind of carefully watching to see if they were going to make it and return it to other larger places, like other markets available from maybe the United States or maybe even other places in Europe. But they've just announced that they've added Netflix to the system as well. So this is an interesting small addition to what people are kind of looking for OnePlus to possibly break up the market with their high-end TVs for a low-end price.
The whole point of pre-installing Netflix, I don't get it, because this is running Android TV. It's not
Right.
like Netflix isn't already available.
Well, some Android TVs can't play Netflix because for whatever reason they don't have everything that's required of it. So
If it's actual Android TV, then it will. It's the older TVs were the ones. It was the TVs that were more. I can't think of the right word, but where it's the brand's custom
right.
whatever cause problem. But yeah, no, I mean this is running Android TV. It's available, and if it's available in the Play Store, it should work on the TV. The whole reason they're doing that is to, because they added the Netflix button to their remote, which I hate
Yeah.
those things.
Don't you know? Come on! Don't you want one button to get to all your Netflix shows?
No, because those are the things that when you're reaching for the remote or you're trying to set the remote down, all of a sudden you're kicked out of what you're doing because it's switching over to the button that you didn't mean to push. Yes, no, I hate those things.
Okay.
I kind of do hate those buttons too.
I'm fine with them. I ignore them
I'm
usually.
interested. I'm interested in seeing these TVs. I assume they're going to be at CES this year.
Maybe that'd be good to see.
So, yeah, definitely.
All right, Oculus Quest news. Oculus Quest is that lower cost, all in the headset VR system. Doesn't require a PC. That has been coming out with newer options available for people. But one of the things they've been saying will be coming out soon is the ability for you to use your hands as your controllers inside the game. The hand tracking option is now available as an experiment inside the Oculus Quest. So if you have an Oculus Quest and have been looking to see if you could manipulate things with your hands, it's available now.
So this is a thing I was actually going to talk about the week that before Thanksgiving when we ended up not having the show, because that is the whole what they're wanting to do here is the whole reason that the Valve Index is a credible replacement or upgrade to the Vive, because it, as you hold it, it can track each finger individually, and that's the whole point of using it with the new game Alex, is you're able to reach out and grab stuff.
Right.
So it adds more depth to the games when you have agility. But yeah, I'm not surprised that the other companies are trying to get in on that.
Yeah, this is doing something controllerless and being able to use hand tracking for VR makes perfect sense. Because that's what you want to be able to do anyways.
The difference though is I don't think so. This one doesn't require a controller; it's just tracking your hands, right?
Correct.
The difference with the Vive is you're still holding the controller, but it's got a band so that you don't have to hold on to it. And it can tell due to capacitance, whether, which fingers are touching. So you can, throw up the fingers or do whatever you want. That's what everybody's going to do the first time they have finger tracking. They're going to flip off everything they can.
I think this is interesting because it opens the field of things that you can do and different types of controllers. So, one of the games or one of the controller systems has a controller accessory that you can buy that's like a rifle. And I imagine like playing like a VR first person shooter type game, being able to like take a hand off of the gun and do something with it, whether it's signal your other party,
put it in front of the barrel, and inflict damage.
But I mean, you can control the party then in a more natural and consistent way, rather than having buttons on the side of your rifle that you push in order to have your team stop or something like that. You would be able to issue commands non-verbally or verbally and
throw
that
grenades.
kind of stuff. Throw grenades or, stab with a knife, whatever it is, but it would be able to understand a lot more about what you're doing and still use the rifle or the handgun or whatever it is that you're using as your simulated controller. I think that that's just one example. I think it seems like a lot of fun, and it takes you a little bit closer to that VR experience and a little bit more immersive. I like the idea, and hopefully it will work well and be something that continues to develop.
Yeah, because I know people have mostly positive things to say about the hand tracking in regards to the index. So yeah, I'm curious to see how it works without.
Can we take a minute here and talk about Half-Life Alyx?
Mm-hmm.
Half-Life Alyx, if in case you haven't heard, is the next Half-Life game from Valve. Yes, they're still making Half-Life games. Yes, Valve still actually makes games. Yes, Valve is more than just a distribution company. This might be finally the killer app for VR. This has made me look at my computer and go, I wonder if I can play that.
We did talk about Alyx when the announcement came out.
Okay, I don't remember that.
But that was the point where I wasn't familiar with the index. That's what made me look into the index. Go back to the episode. I'll take Half-Life for 1,000, Alex.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
But this, I think, is the seminal moment. This game and the index it's that seminal moment, that turning point where VR is no longer just a, passing thing. It is here, it is legitimate, and it is the future.
Yeah, so this is going to be that moment, and this is the moment that basically, if it does work, it's going to work pretty well. It could be middle of the road, I suppose, but if it's going to blow up, this is what's going to blow it up, and if it doesn't blow up, this is the thing that's going to finally say, okay, VR is dead. This is it. We're going to find out for certain whether VR is the future, and this is the decision-making point.
Oh, and I found out that Alyx is being given to basically anybody that has an index.
Mm-hmm. Might as well.
Before we were talking about it was going to be available, but they were selling it, whatever. Turns out that no, if you have an index, you get it, and possibly specific versions of the Vive too. You just automatically get it.
It's available, and they're making it non-specific to that platform. They're trying to make it wide as available.
It's available for any, but. Yeah, you get it free if you have a couple different systems. Otherwise, it's but it doesn't have. If you don't have the hand tracking, that could detract a lot from the game.
Come on! I want to play Half-Life Alyx on my Nintendo Labo. Come on!
Oh, on the Game Boy VR.
Oh, totally! I would totally do that and puke all over myself. It'd be great.
Get in the lawnmower man thingy and spin around.
Yes. Oh, it's so sad. Hey, so Roku has their streaming Roku channel, and it's a pretty cool service where you can get a lot of various things for free. They've done their promotions where it lets you watch the first couple episodes of something for free without having to sign up for some bigger service like HBO or something like that. Apparently last year they did a streamathon of their own. That's what they're calling it. Where they're offering some stuff for free. And this year they're doing it again, which includes the full first season of Game of Thrones for free, and other ones like Billions and Ray Donovan shows available for you to stream for free.
I mean, they at least they're letting you see the best season of Game of Thrones, the only season I care about.
And it's the only season I've watched, and it was plenty, and I didn't need to watch any more.
I thought it got actually quite a bit better through maybe season 4 or 5.
Maybe, I don't know. I had enough.
The only character I cared about went away after the first season, and was like...
I can understand that. I was one who stopped reading the books because I got tired of people dying.
And I hadn't read them. I hadn't even ever heard of these books until someone said you need to watch this show during the first season.
The funny thing is, in the middle of book 5, a major character that I was like, this is the last one of the last two characters that I still care about and still like. That character died, and I dropped the book. Turns out he didn't really die, but I just thought he was dead, so I was like, okay, that's it. I know there's this other character over here that I care about and like, but I just give up. And
See,
it's funny
is on my side.
that character didn't really die, but I was annoyed and frustrated by it, so I gave up reading the book. I did watch the series through to the end, and other than the last couple of episodes, I really enjoyed the series as a whole. I did have a hard time getting through season 1, and in fact, I stopped watching in season 1 initially, and when it was initially airing season 1, and then I went back and watched it all between seasons 7 and 8.
Yeah,
I did the first 7 seasons and then went straight into season 8 and finished it up.
Yeah,
and I enjoyed it. Being able to binge it makes it easier to enjoy, in my opinion. The first season is actually probably one of the worst from a content perspective. If you were put off by the awfulness of it, I think the first season is probably the worst.
Okay, I see.
And the last season, but they all are pretty awful. If you,
I will say that
community stuff offensive, they're all pretty awful.
After the first season, there was not a single character that I cared about at all, but I laughed out loud hysterically when the events rolled out and I thought about all of the people that named their kids Daenerys. That would be like pre-World War II naming your son Adolf or Hitler and then going, oh God, what did
Spoiler alert, guys.
Oh God.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, I mean, I kind of felt like that was coming, but it drove me kind of crazy that it came. And I understand, but I get where they were going, but I also found it super annoying and frustrating.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, that's their show and their movie, and they made it that way. I actually almost admire the fact that they did that because of the fact that it makes logical sense.
Yeah.
To be redundant.
Yeah. So back to the Roku channel. This is we've talked about it before. It's a great channel. I use it a lot. It's where I watch Gidget. That's how I started watching that Major Crimes show. That was the sequel to The Closer. I never watched it. I had watched The Closer years and years ago. But yeah, there's lots of stuff on there, and they're constantly rolling out new stuff. So they got their streamathon right now. Go watch
no,
some
not
Game of
right now.
Thrones.
The streamathon starts on December 26th and only lasts through January 1st. So it's a short period of lots of free stuff. Just after Christmas, it's like a Christmas gift for you.
There you go.
I mean, the trick is that HBO is assuming that you're going to get addicted to the series and then want to buy HBO to get the other 7 seasons. So
it makes a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
Roku wants you to subscribe to HBO, Cinemax, Showtime, and Stars through them is what it is. And,
so they get their cut.
And that's fine.
And everybody's happy, right? Roku gets to keep you in their ecosystem, and HBO gets to take their money, and everybody's happy, and you get to watch a show. Now, I will say, I don't recommend Game of Thrones to anybody because of how gratuitous it is in every respect.
You're going to watch it ad-supported?
I did enjoy it myself, and I would rather cut myself with paper between the toes than and pour lemon juice on it than watch it with ad support.
Although, thinking back to the first season, I think there are many episodes that are conducive to ad breaks. Like when the kid is climbing the tower and he looks in the window. that is the point where, or when, he gets kicked in the face, that's the perfect time to go to an ad break. You go, wait, what just happened? All right.
But
Google.
yeah, Google has got their AR experiences where they've been allowing you to take various things and put it into the real world, for sort to say, through your phone, and able to see things like, hey, furniture or cool like animals or things like that into your real environment through your device. This AR has been limited in many ways because it basically overlays the things onto your existing screen as best it can and tries to make it fit the environment as best it can. But one thing it could not do is it would not correctly put things behind devices. Now Google is announcing a feature that does make it so it can see things, whether something should be behind something that it is created in the AR space should be behind something in real space, and so you will be able to see things peeking out from behind furniture, and it'll be able to you'll be able to actually have a better way of hiding behind things. It's a new ability to really understand the depth of field and how that works for.
And that's actually really cool because
It is.
as a couple of the examples that were here in this story, like the one where if you, let's say you're going to buy a piece of furniture for your house, you're able to, using the AR, put it in a specific place in the room and it stays there and you can walk around and see, does it work with your other stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in previous incarnations of the AR, it would just kind of float on top of whatever was there. Didn't really have a actual plate or feel like it had a place in that space. So this is cool. I like this.
While I do think this is an absolutely amazing feature and it's super cool, it's unfortunate that we can't add the image to the video, because the real question is, what in the crap is it that cat is hiding behind?
Oh, it's like 2 pillows.
Like,
I think I sure hope it's 2 pillows and
it look
not
gigantic though.
If you look at the story in the link, you will notice
That's like the tiniest little cat in the world.
Well, it's an AR cat.
Our cat. Okay.
It doesn't say what that is. It says it's hiding behind something. I think that it's the weirdest looking chair, but you're probably right. It's probably pillows. They're just gigantic pillows.
Yeah, I'm thinking they're like couch cushions, fuzzy couch cushions, or like a giant dog bed or something.
Dude that owns that house needs to get better furniture.
Actually, that looks, ironically, that looks like the house from the Netflix VR, from the, when you're sitting in that chalet watching.
Maybe.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. So AT&T has got their DirecTV service, and for a while now, they've been talking about the fact that they're going to be starting to add ads to whenever you pause your show. It looks like it is officially started on many of their platforms, including DirecTV, the satellite service, and other video platforms that it owns. So I'm guessing everything. They have started to put these ads up about 30 seconds after you pause, and then these ads come up with a video that is moving in order for you to get your attention. But luckily, is no audio on these ads. What do you think, guys? You okay with having an ad on your pause screen?
It's not like they're the first person to do this. Hulu started doing that 6 to 8 months ago. If you've got ad supported, and then there's other services that already do this.
Okay.
Playing video, I probably have a problem with that, because that's additional bandwidth that is unnecessary. But I mean, if you want to show a static ad, that's fine.
Interesting. I like the argument about bandwidth, but that being said, you're streaming something probably in 4K.
But I mean, if you've got it paused and you normally and you walk away for a half hour or whatever, it shouldn't be using any bandwidth. Yeah, or very minimal to, buffering or whatever it needs to do in the background. But yeah, like I said, that's really my only complaint. Because when you're paused, you're not paying attention to it anyway. So who cares?
Yeah.
Right.
As long as it doesn't. I was mistaken when I first read this. I thought they were penalizing you for pausing stuff. Like every time you pause, they added another ad to the like. I was like, this is terrible. This is gonna thing that be the thing that causes everybody to.
That's
But then
already
when
how
I read
YouTube
the
TV
article-
works.
When I read the article, I was like, oh, okay, never mind.
It's already how YouTube TV works. We will watch a show. We'll be mostly through the ad break. We'll hit pause or stop the show. We'll come back knowing that we went always, and it restarts the ad break.
Yeah. If you rewind or you back out
it's
of
the
it, then
worst.
you're back at the beginning of the ad
The
break.
worst thing you can do. Don't do that.
Oh, that's one thing that didn't make it on the week. Didn't make it this week was that YouTube TV is you can now fast forward through ads on
On the channels that previously weren't letting you.
Yeah, a bunch of channels that you couldn't before, which is cool.
Yes, which is awesome because hey, guess what? That's probably because they've all the other companies have been able to do it due to how they got their streaming rights all figured out, and YouTube's probably been going. I know we have this contract here that says that we have to do this, but we're looking at how these contracts are with everybody else. Can we renegotiate this? I bet you that happened, and that's great. Thank you very much. Appreciate that,
Sure.
YouTube. It's great. Hey guys, if you there's a great new streaming service out available for you now.
Oh,
It's
yeah?
wonderful.
What's it called?
It's called it's called Bay Stream. It's all Michael Bay.
Michael Bay. Wow. So it's just explosions and lens flare.
All day, every
All
day.
day, nothing but explosions.
CGI effects and explosions and lens flares and swooping flying by. No, actually, it's Pirate Bay.
I think. Wait. Say that again.
It's Pirate Bay. Pirate Bay has.
I think the Michael Bay thing sounds more plausible.
No,
the Pirate Bay was shut down.
And the
because
Pirate
all the
Bay never was
governments,
shut down.
Flex their muscle and they flip that off switch they keep talking about.
Yeah, right, and that's why it's still up and you can still get there. So Pirate Bay is now offering a way for you to watch videos that are available on torrents in a way that allows you to literally within your browser just start streaming it right from your browser. And so an internally combined system allows you to go find your torrent with your video you want to watch and just start watching. For example, the video being shown in the picture example here on Baystream is season 1, episode 1 of The Mandalorian in 1080p.
Wow. So if you ever wanted to load malware onto your Roku in real time, you're in luck.
I do not believe this is available on any streaming stick of any kind.
Okay.
I believe this is only available to you on your computer.
If you needed another way to get malware directly mainlined into your PC, here you go.
As pointed out by Web and Magic, this is by Cruise, this is like popcorn time. Yeah. That streaming service that used.
There's Popcorn Time, and then there's a couple others that have done this in the past. A lot of time they usually try to skirt around or distract from the fact that you're loading torrents. Mm-hmm. I like that Baystream's just like, nah, we're the Pirate Bay.
Exactly.
Watch torrents.
So it should be anyways. Don't be ashamed. You wanted to watch that show. You like it so much. You can pay for it, but watch it. I'm not saying you should do that, but that's what you probably are thinking.
Yep. I love if you want to stream The Mandalorian but don't have a Disney Plus subscription.
What's wrong with you? It's only $7.
It's actually $5 if you already have Hulu.
Yeah, exactly. It's cheap. Spend the $5, watch it, then don't pay for it anymore.
Which is what I'm going to be doing because I can't find anything else to watch.
Unless you paid for 3 years in advance, then you're in trouble.
All right.
Now that is the news for the weekend, everybody. I hope everybody enjoyed.
Sweet. Well, this is the point where we like to extend our warmest thanks and regards to the people that support us month to month, the people that see some.
You mean our family, right?
Our family, our
Yeah.
the family we actually like. You know,
Oh.
not the ones we're forced to spend time with, the ones we
Okay.
want to spend time with. The
Okay.
patrons.
Oh,
The people that,
so
I would say I consider them part of the family.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we appreciate your support. Those of you that come back here every week. Some of those of you that are supporting us on Patreon, and if you're not currently a supporter, but you find value in what we're doing, you want to throw us a buck or two, we won't turn you away. We will welcome you with open arms.
Yes,
and
that's
open wallets.
Yeah.
We did just be like, you just put it right here. It's kind of empty.
Oh, poor Clyde.
But it's patreon.com/the VOD Squad. We really enjoy you guys, and we're glad you're here.
Yep. Come back anytime.
All right. And with that, we should probably check in with the Big Voice Jay. Mr.
Totally.
Big Voice Jay, what's going on?
Welcome to your Red League Movie Draft Minute presented by DiamondClub.tv for the week of December 11th, 2019. I'm your host, Big Voice Jay. Hey, Diamond Club's getting together to ring in the new year all around the world. Join us at twitch.tv/DC Streamathon. Let's go to the scoreboard. Team BS with BNS is in last place, still waiting for their first film. Team Geek.io gets $757,000 from Playmobil the Movie, and 5th place with $106.5 million. Team Mixtape falls to 4th place with $244 million. Team Game Night is in 3rd place with $251.8 million. Team Movie Party is in 2nd place with $405.4 million. And in 1st place with $495.5 million, it's Team VOD Squad. That's your Stream Team Movie Draft Minute. For up-to-date listings, follow Stream Team Draft on Twitter.
So, as of this week, from now on, Reno 911 Miami is the benchmark. Playmobil couldn't even make Reno 911 money.
So
It was long shot last year.
Right. Okay. But okay. I like this name and culture. I really do. I must know to pull a Reno 911 is to make at least $20 million, right?
Yes.
Okay. Domestically.
Well, they're making. Well, you wouldn't pull a Reno 911 because that's hard to describe. But no, did it make Reno 911 money?
Okay.
It didn't even make Reno 911 money.
Oh man.
I mean, here's the thing about that movie. I would have watched it for nostalgia if it was on TV. But there was no way in heck I was paying $10 to go see it.
Are you talking about Reno 911 or Playmobil the movie?
Playmobil the movie.
So which one would you rather go see if you had to choose between the two?
Oh, definitely Playmobil.
Really? Over Reno 911?
Yeah,
Interesting.
But he'll wait till it comes out on streaming.
What?
Or you could just wait till it comes out on streaming.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes out, I'll probably watch it. Like I said, I loved Playmobil as a kid. I thought they were super cool, and was really interested in them. I mean, they're not as cool as Legos, and it won't be as good as the Lego movie. But I'll watch it when it comes out streaming. This is the kind of show that should have gone direct to streaming or direct to DVD.
And this is the problem. When they announced this movie, I, like most people, said, wait, what? Mainly because the only reason I had any familiarity with Playmobil was I would see them at the hobby store when I'm going to, get model paint or get a new model or whatever. I would see them, but most kids have never even heard of them, let alone played with them. So they don't have that. They don't have that brand recognition. They don't have that built-in nostalgia that Lego has.
Yeah.
And I would argue that, yes, Playmobil is probably far superior to Lego.
Really?
But it also was, well, I mean, in the quality and, but it was also more expensive.
Yeah, so the thing about Playmobil, it is a lot more expensive. It was very popular in Europe.
Hmm.
I lived in Germany when Playmobil was kind of at its height, and it was an extremely popular toy there. And so, and the numbers reflect that, right? 94.3% of its income was international so far. So it did 12.5 million internationally, 750,000 domestically.
Also, I always thought I was creeped out by the Playmobil people. They were a little too realistic in that kind of uncanny, creepy kind of way.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, the thing for me was always that they had such cool vehicle type things. Like my friend had a pirate ship, and they had really cool stuff that was pre-built, and because it was pre-modeled and pre-molded as opposed to Legos, it could be more detailed and more sophisticated. Than you could reasonably get.
See,
But-
for me, Playmobil was those toys at when I went to was being watched by somebody, so I was at somebody's house, and they had all that. They pulled out their things of toys to play with, and I said, "What the heck are these? I've never seen these before in my life." Oh, interesting. I guess, and yeah, wasn't that excited to me because there wasn't a lot for me to play with. Maybe I'd be more excited with it if I had more nostalgic attachment to it, but I do not have any nostalgic attachment to this stuff.
No, and that's my point is it doesn't, pretty much everybody has a Lego story of some sort of, I played with those when I was a kid, blah, blah, blah. My kids never even heard of Playmobil. And I had never even, it wasn't until I was an adult in the Navy that I met somebody that said, oh, no, we didn't play with, we had Playmobil. And he was a Playmobil nut. And it was like, oh, okay. So it took 20 years of my life to meet somebody that actually had them. And then somebody said, ooh,
I wonder if
he
that
has
person
Playmobil money.
Well, I wonder if that person had lived overseas.
No, he lived in Michigan, which might have something to do with it.
At that time or his whole life?
Growing up, yeah. He grew up and lived his whole life up around Detroit.
Yeah, see, as an Army brat, we moved all over the place. It was when we were in Germany that I became acquainted with them. So I would expect that people that spent a fair amount of time in Europe would be familiar with them. Yeah. At least Germany.
All right, well, I want to talk a little bit about the movies that came out this last week. Other than Playmobil, we also had. Let's see, what else came out this last week? It was. No, this is the only movie. This is the only one. I can't believe it only made $750,000.
People
heck?
still went to go see Frozen.
Yeah,
They're like, screw it.
Well, Frozen did pretty well this last weekend. It did another $35 million. So you are going to be continuing to crawl up with that one
until Christmas.
So that if we didn't move another dollar, you'd probably overtake us with that. But we still have
one
Cats.
more weekend.
We got Cats.
So you've got one more weekend of big numbers. I'm a little surprised it came down as much as it did. My guess is that just movie theater burnout. Nobody was seeing very many movies.
Well, you had that time leading up to and then the big boom around Thanksgiving. And then most of the people that were going to see it went and saw it, as a family during the holiday stuff. And that's where you're going to get. So I expected a big drop off. I expect to see some more pickup as we get closer to closer to Christmas and like Christmas break. Kids go out of school. But yeah, I don't think it's going to do like 500, but probably maybe another 50 in there.
I think you'll definitely get another 50. You might pull another 75-ish. This weekend is your last big weekend before Star Wars comes out. Mm-hmm. I don't think you'll do particularly great the weekend of Star Wars coming out. But the weekend after that, as people get ready for Christmas and kids are out of school, you might get some extra dough with the kids going during the day and matinees and stuff like that while their parents have to keep them entertained.
Yep.
Oh, so let me just tell you guys, Jexy was a
Yeah.
very good purchase by comparison to Playmobil.
Yes, it was. Compared. Thank you. That makes me feel good. But here's the thing: Jexy did the Playmobil numbers when it started, so it did. I think worse. It's just saying it was not good. No, Playmobil might make more money than Jexy, so just be aware. So we also this last weekend the number 2 movie was again Knives Out. Yes, again, I recommend anybody who wants to have a good time to go out and see that movie. Yep, I'm surprised it did well. That movie was held by Mixtape. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to help Mixtape because they now have all their movies out, and I don't think they're basically done at this point. That's too sad for them. Game Night, though, they have one more movie coming up. It's the movie for next weekend, and it's Jumanji: The Next Level. If it's $150 million movie, they are in the running.
Yeah.
So if it's a big hit, they have to do well for them to still be in this game. You are definitely in this game as in the top of this, and then we're all just basically sitting in fear with BNS to see how much money they make with Star Wars.
Well, I don't think Star Wars is going to do anything because it's coming out against Bombshell.
Ah, gotcha. Makes perfect sense.
And that's Charlize Theron and some other lady.
That's all those people who wish that that the Fox still owned all of the rights to Star Wars because they originally did. They're all pissed off. They want to get. They're going to watch Bombshell in protest. I tell you, protest.
Well,
why in the world?
Pro Fox people watching Bombshell.
Well, I guess that's true
because it's not a pro Fox movie.
I think
these people are confused. They're doing as best they can. Leave them alone.
So you're saying they're the status quo?
I did not say
I think we might have pulled 75 million out of Cats, but going up against Star Wars, I think we'll struggle to get 50.
Because you gotta remember, not everybody's gonna go see Star Wars. Star Wars is.
But
I'm not gonna go see Star Wars. And if I'm like, I need to see a movie and I have to choose between Star Wars, Bombshell, and Cats.
You're going to go see Bombshell.
I'm going to see Cats.
Really? Really?
I mean, it depends. Am I taking my kids?
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I was about to say, really? Really?
I don't want to see Cats. I
think there's a lot of people out there that were on edge on the fence about seeing Cats in the first place, and then you put it up against Star Wars, and
Bombshell.
A lot of the people that were on the fence just are like going to go see Star Wars. So
yep.
I think it's going to struggle. I think that it's chosen a very poor time to come out. I do think that they might pull off 150 million with Jumanji.
It's possible.
They have a chance of competing with us, depending on how Cats does, because Jumanji, the first one did 400 million.
Yeah.
And while it won't do those kinds of numbers,
it might make 200 million. It could.
It could.
I want to see it. I loved the first one, and this one looks comparably funny. So.
Yeah, that's true. It's possible. It depends on what people want to go see, and the problem is it's sitting right next to a gigantic other film that's going to take up most people's brain share of the movies.
My big fear about Jumanji after seeing the trailers is that they said, "Hey, we had this movie that was great. Mathematically, here's the formula. Do it again."
Yeah.
And it's like
it could be a problem.
And that's usually how you kill Ghostbusters 2 versus Ghostbusters. Yeah.
Ghostbusters 2 is fine.
I hope it does good. I hope it does good because I want it to be good. Because I want to see it. But I haven't been to a movie since I saw that Terminator movie.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That was Halloween. Yeah.
Go see Knives Out if you get the chance.
I want to, but we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Alrighty. Well, why don't we get into some rants and some raves? Rants, raves, what you got?
I want to talk to you guys about things that happened this week because I really didn't do much television watching this week, except for, I guess I did watch The Mandalorian. Other than that, there were a ton of movie trailers that came out this week. And depending on what you want to see, there's probably something in here that would interest you. You got Wonder Woman 84, which is, actually, I'm kind of interested in it because I really like the first Wonder Woman movie. I'd like to see how they continue that story. But Ghostbusters Afterlife, this looks amazing. I can't stop seeing Ant-Man instead of, Paul Rudd. I keep seeing Ant-Man, but other than that, I'm really excited about this movie. So every time I say, well, what do you call the Avengers? So that's just what comes to my brain here. We had Mulan come out with their new movie. This is a live action version of the Disney cartoon. I actually like the Disney cartoon as the bloodiest and biggest body count movie ever made by Disney ever, and I really enjoyed that. I don't know if they're going to do the same thing for the live action version of it, but they are making some bold choices here in order to not make it a lot like the cartoon. One of the things I haven't liked about the recent Disney remakes is that they're so basically shot for shot exactly like the cartoon. And while that can work, kind of, I also like it when they go ahead and decide to tell the story somewhat differently. And it looks like they're making huge difference for this kung fu action flick, which looks great. And last but not least, the trailer for Free Guy. This is Ryan Reynolds.
What is it?
It's called Free Guy.
Free Guy.
Free Guy. Ryan Reynolds.
Okay.
He is an NPC in a video game. He doesn't know it. And then he figures out that he is. And they decide to, they need him because he can break out of the system. It's really like the Matrix / Ready Player One / Deadpool.
It's a Taika Waititi. Taika Waititi's in this.
Yes, he is. And
I'm
watch the trailer. It looks amazing. It looks really good. So I have to say, that has basically been my love affair of television this week. Has been like, oh, look at all these trailers. This is all great. I love this. Look, trailers are like mini movies, and I love mini movies because I love to get me to the point and get them. That's great. Unless the trailer doesn't give me much of the movie, and actually I like that too, because if I don't want the movie spoiled, I don't want a trailer that gives me too much. So that's a good thing too. It depends on what I'm looking for. That's me.
Okay.
Cool. Definitely some good shows there. I might have to go see a few of them. I am currently watching mostly How I Met Your Mother. Enjoying watching that. And Boise State football. I'm super excited that we're going to get like a pseudo legitimate bowl. We missed the big ones, but
Which bowl?
The Cotton Bowl.
Okay.
I think. So it's not small. It's a decent bowl. It's in Vegas, so that'll be good. And we missed the New Year's Six because the team above us also won, and so we had a good season. But that also means I have to stick it out for another week before I can cancel Hulu TV, which is driving me crazy.
I'm so sorry. I was going to ask, how are you watching it still? Or have you decided to jump ship to a different platform?
No, I mean, the thing is that like they all have the stupid commercials on the live stuff, and it's just
because it's live, you can't really do anything about it.
Yeah, but if you time shift, like with Hulu, if I time shift the same day, I still have to watch the commercials.
Oh no! YouTube TV does it. You view within the 48 hours. You can skip the commercials after the time shift. After a while, if they have an on-demand version, which I don't know if they do that for.
You're not going to find on-demand for games.
Sports, yeah.
Like with Hulu, all of the stuff that goes on demand, you don't have commercials with. So, like, I watch Masked Singer. If I watch it live, I have to watch the commercials, obviously.
Yeah.
If I time shift 2 hours, I have to watch the commercials. If I watch it 24 hours later, I don't have to watch the commercials.
Well, and the difference is whether or not the show is available on Hulu,
right,
or if it's only available on Live. So if
Yes.
you've got something that's only available on Hulu Live, you're not going to be able to get the Hulu ad-free version of it just because they don't participate in Hulu.
Yeah, and if I watch it, like if I watch the football game the same day, I have every single commercial break is fixed for the like 90, 120, 360 seconds, whatever it is, sometimes literally that long. If I watch it like 2 days later, I'll have less commercials in it, but there will still be fixed commercial breaks that I can't skip. And then the commercials, of course, will be in the show, but I can skip them by fast forwarding.
Okay.
Just drives me crazy a little bit. I wish that I could just not deal with commercials at all, but
Yeah. So Friday, the new season of Marvelous Miss Maisel came out.
I want to see that. Haven't gotten the chance to see it yet.
I ran out of episodes by Saturday.
Oh,
I just put
sorry.
it on and it was on. It was a good season. Over the weekend, I decided to finally try the DC Universe streaming.
Oh, that's a good game.
Yeah. So DC Universe streaming platform.
Oh, not DCU. Oh, okay.
I
Never mind.
wanted to watch Doom Patrol because I had heard good things, and there was people in it that I really like.
Yeah, Brendan Fraser is still alive.
Yeah, Brendan Fraser's in it. The dude, Matt Bowman from White Collar, he's in it. Alan Tudyk, lots of people. Oh, and one of the main characters is Pierce Brosnan. I like him when he's not James Bond. And
Right. Gotcha.
yeah, I mean, it's so many great people. It's real, and it's my kind of humor. It's silly, and it actually gets my attention. And this is one of the shows where it captures my attention enough that I find myself just watching it and not doing other things. Because as we've talked about before, I listen to TV. Half the time I don't see what happens, but I feel like I do because I've got a good imagination. I can't really find anything else on there. I started watching the Harley Quinn cartoon. It's Kaylee Cuoco is doing the voice of Harley Quinn.
Okay.
And it's got a lot of great people doing voice acting. But man, it started out like within 3 seconds into it's vulgar. 3 seconds into the cartoon was a couple F-bombs and some shits, and it was like, okay, this is definitely not for kids.
Let's make this perfectly clear. We're going to say all the bad words up front, so you
right
know.
on.
Nope.
I mean, it was like, I think one of the first things out of her mouth. It was like, whoa, I was not expecting this.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like Disney Plus, once I'm done with Doom Patrol, I think I might be done with but I did the trial, so, and I mean,
Cool.
It's again like $7. It works. I've got some of the same complaints about it that I've had with Disney Plus but at least DC Universe actually shows me what episodes have been watched, where Disney Plus does not.
They've actually got a kind of fixed now. Not great, but
Well, no, I mean, they fixed the resume, but when you go into the list of episodes, there's no way you have no visual cue to show that these have been watched.
Gotcha.
And I will say one thing about The Mandalorian, the new episode. Everybody was talking crap about it. I liked it. Except,
you watched it.
Oh, those speeder bike scenes. That was one of the very first times that I said, oof, out loud. Because it looks so bad as they're going through the desert.
Okay.
It's like, oh, that's bad.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I was thinking they actually looked good, but I'm thinking of when they were like sitting still.
Yeah.
They looked fine there.
When they were racing through the desert, go back and
Gotcha.
watch it.
Yeah.
It's something I would expect to see in Movie Party. It was very like I said, there was nobody in the house. I'm by myself, and I made an exclamation out loud. That's just how silly
We should talk some more Mandalorian in the after show because I wouldn't want to spoil it for anybody.
But speeder bikes.
Totally. Yeah, speeder bikes. Yeah, totally.
I've always wanted a speeder bike.
You did? Why?
Yeah, because they're cool. I like anything with motors and goes fast. But okay, we should move on to the post show. We'll shut this down. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us. We appreciate it, guys. Thank you for joining me. If you are watching this after the fact, we do this live every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Central here on Twitch. You can watch us after the fact if you're not already on YouTube. Just do a search for the VOD Squad. You'll find all the past 160 plus episodes. If you're not watching us live, come join us. This is where the fun is. You get to hang out in the chat, throw some shade, throw up a couple suggestions for titles, which we will be choosing in the after show, so stick around. Until then, yep, you get it. We will see you guys in the after show. Bye, guys.
Later.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.